This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. We're broadcasting from the Swedish city of Visby. It's on Sweden's largest island, Gotland. We're in the middle of an event called Almedalen Week. It's a week-long political festival where all of Sweden's political parties gather. It's almost as if, the Democratic and Republican convention in the United States, they were all held together. 25,000 people have gathered here. For those who are watching, you can see it is very windy. It is pouring rain. We're hoping it won't be a thunderstorm, but you'll hear the rain hitting against the mic if that's the case. And we're joined right now by Andreas Gustafsson. He is the editor-in-chief of a new newspaper, daily newspaper in Stockholm, has come over to the island, as so many journalists have, to cover this unusual week that has been going on since Olof Palme, the former Swedish Prime Minister who was assassinated in 1986, came here years before that and just started giving speeches. And so this convention, this festival continues. Andreas, welcome to Democracy Now!
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Talk about the significance of this event and the journalists who come here, why you come.
We call it a super election year. We have the Parliament, the EU Parliament, we have the national elections as well, and local elections, all at once, all in the same year. And we got 8 years with a right-wing government. Sweden has totally changed during these 8 years. So there's a lot at stake for a lot of people.
The name of your newspaper and what it means in English.
It's called Dagens ETC, which is basically the daily etc. The story that continues.
And so talk about the critical issues that people are debating now. This is clearly a surge in the polls for what they're calling the Red-Green Alliance, who these parties are.
First, we got the biggest party in Sweden, the Social Democrats. They are about 30% of the electoral base. And then there's the Left Party, which is currently almost outside of a future government. The Social Democrats are preferring the Green Party. They are having close discussions together. So there will be a change of government in September. I'm fairly sure of that.
And what are the issues of the day that are most hotly debated?
Jobs. We got mass unemployment. On a Swedish level, mass unemployment.
Which is about how much in percentage?
8%.
8%.
8%, yes. And climate change and feminism, or feminism, yes, because of the feminist initiative.
And the feminist initiative is this new political party.
Yeah. It's not new. It's been around for a couple of years, but there's been a backlash regarding feminism here in Sweden, but it's back with a vengeance. So they got seats in the EU, the European Parliament, and I'm fairly sure they will get seats in Parliament here in the National Parliament of September.
Just as I was coming to this broadcast, walking through the island, there was a mass protest of what are called here anti-racists, hundreds of them protesting the speaking of the Party of Swedes. Can you explain what the Swedish Party is?
The Swedish Party are not in Parliament, but it's a Nazi party.
Nazi party.
Yeah, it's a Nazi party, no discussion about it. They want to throw out every immigrants from Sweden, and they don't even believe in the democratic system. But they are taking part in the elections this autumn, and they are the Swedish Democrats. They are already in Parliament. They're not Nazi, but they are racist. So first we got the Swedish Democrats, and now we got this. I'm ashamed of them.
The this Swedish party also allied with it the Swedish resistance movement. Explain who they are.
Yeah. That's the violent part of the Nazi movement here in Sweden. They have attacked several people just this year, almost killed one person in Malmö on the 8th of March, and now they are taking part in combat in Ukraine. with fascist groups in Ukraine.
Well, now explain that. So in Malmo, in one of the Swedish cities, on International Women's Day, one of these Nazis knifed one of the anti-racists on the street. He had just come from the Nazi, from Ukraine, fighting on whose side?
In the coup in Ukraine, there was a fringe movement of fascists. We got Svoboda, that's one major party, and the even more extreme right sector. And the Swedish fascists are involved with both Svoboda and the right sector.
So now was he arrested after he knifed this Swede?
Some of the Nazis were arrested, but one of them, he's still at large.
And he went back to Ukraine?
We don't know.
So the issues here around immigration that ties into these far-right parties, do you see this as part of an European sort of resurgence of the right?
Yeah, we see it. And both the Swedish Democrats and the more extreme party of Swedes have close connections to all these groups, from Le Pen's party in France to the Nazis in Greece. They are closely knit together, and there's a brown fascist surge in Europe right now.
Johan Gustafsson, I want to thank you. Andreas Gustafsson, I want to thank you very much for being with us. Editor of, why don't you pronounce it yourself, of the new newspaper in English, it's etc. ETC.
Yes, Dagens etc. it's called.
Thank you so much for being here.